Some people may look at it as a less important British city, but they might also just admit they've never been there. But in every corner of Manchester, you can feel its vibrant energy, pulsing through its architecture, art, and people. Located in northern England, with a population close to 600,000, Manchester's roots date back to 79 AD, when the Romans constructed a fort here called Mamucium, from which the city name was eventually derived. Manchester came into its own during the Industrial Revolution, with cotton and textile manufacturing making Manchester the world's first industrialized city. And while this type of factory and millwork declined after World War II, Manchester continued to define itself in new ways. Through music, as the birthplace of such iconic bands as the Smiths, Oasis, and yes, even the Bee Gees. And in sports, it's home to 2 football teams, sparking an ongoing debate as to which fan base has dominance. Is the city red for Manchester United or blue for Manchester City? But to truly understand Manchester, I wanted to see its birthplace, where the Romans originally settled, so I caught a ride.
Hey, can you take me to Castlefield?
That's no problem. Do you mind if we go my way?
Sure, let's do it.
Full disclosure, John Constantine is my go-to taxi driver when I'm in Manchester, because few know this city better than he does.
I'm from Manchester, so I've always known the city, the different areas, the different aspects. When I got into my 20s, I started driving the taxis, and I've just continued driving taxis ever since. Probably could say I've got the best job in Manchester.
When you ride with John, it's not just about getting to your destination. You also get a history and a civics lesson along the way.
Manchester is a city that constantly evolves and changes and grows and develops. Manchester itself is like a huge museum. The square here on the right-hand side, this is a statue of Emmeline Pankhurst, a founder of the suffragettes, spearheaded the women's movement there, just to remind us of that great events and the great struggles that women went through having the votes.
John took me by the Midland Hotel, where legend has it that Charles Rolls and Henry Royce first met before starting their luxury car brand. And the Edwardian Hotel, formerly the Free Trade Hall, home to famous concerts from the likes of Bob Dylan and the Sex Pistols. John then took me to St. John's Gardens, where a very important Mancunian is buried.
There was a social reformer from Manchester called William Marsden who lobbied for a half-day holiday on a Saturday, and it was passed. So this then, you worked on a Saturday morning and then you had Saturday afternoon off, which then eventually becomes the weekend. William Marsden, who originated the Saturday half-day holiday, was buried in this churchyard. So that's Manchester inventing the weekend.
So what do I get for calling instead?
Finally, we get to my destination.
If you look to the left, you'll see the Roman fort at Castlefield. The Romans first settled here AD 79. This, Peter, this is the Roman ruins, this is the Roman granary, so this is where the grain was kept to make the bread to feed the soldiers, and this is all part of that original Roman ruins. So it just gives you that idea, that great depth of history that Manchester has, going back to almost 2,000 years.
But before John takes me back, there's tradition.
Tea time.
Tea time?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this, Peter, traditional afternoon tea served in the back of the taxi.
I must say I have never had that experience in the back of a cab.
So we have the finger sandwiches, little pastries, we have scones, chocolate strawberries, other little cakes, and also pork pie. So tuck in.
All right, well first,
Tea.
thanks for the tour. Nice and hot and delicious. Pork pie?
Pork pie. Tradition.
Just a little over a mile to the northeast is an area known as the Northern Quarter. And here, Oldham Street has long been a premier shopping destination. One famous store, Affleck and Brown, started as a drapery business in the 1860s before growing to a full department store. And while it's long gone, in the exact same building, its name lives on at Afflecks. But a different type of shopping experience. Dozens of small, quirky, independent shops, all in one building, offering everything from vintage clothing to collectible figures to tarot card readings. Half of these items you probably don't need, while the other stuff here may simply be crap. You can find merchandise of some of the superstar bands that got their start in Manchester. And if you're one of those music fans mourning the loss of physical media, there's plenty of vinyl records. And a surprise, the last store in the United Kingdom that still sells cassette tapes.
How many cassettes do you have here?
Oh God, I think we've got at least 2,000 or 3,000 that I know of. Got more in a little box at home somewhere, so.
And people still play these?
Yeah, they do, yeah. We've got quite a few different customers coming through, all sorts of ages and everything.
Alex Tadros is one of the owners of Mars Tapes, which isn't just for vintage collectors.
What you get actually a lot of the time, especially with the smaller bands, you get a lot of bands that can't physically release vinyl because it's too expensive. Streaming doesn't get them any money, so they do a small cassette run and they actually get a little profit from them.
They're still making cassettes?
Oh yeah, all the time. We've got lots of new
Wow.
cassettes about.
At Afflecks, you can not only shop for famous musicians, it's also the place where famous musicians come to shop.
We get lots of celebrities. My most famous today is Lady Gaga, and she purchased some clothes off me with Lady Starlight. At the end of the night, they did a concert in Manchester, both wearing red dresses.
Vanessa Cawley has been here since Afflecks opened more than 40 years ago. And at her store American Graffiti, she has something for every style or occasion.
We've had all sorts of people that come in. We've had goths, we've had mods. There's people now who want to go to 70s parties, 80s parties. It's a nice creative space and everybody's welcome in Afflecks.
The hardest part is just deciding what your new look is going to be. If you travel just a few miles to the west, out of the city center, you'll come to Salford, a separate city but still part of Greater Manchester. Salford's working class neighborhoods were the inspiration for Coronation Street, the world's longest running soap opera and a beloved part of British culture. The show was still filmed locally, but here on the actual Coronation Street is another of the city's surprising claims to fame.
Good morning.
Hello, welcome to Salford Lads Club.
Quite a place you have.
Yeah, would you like to see some more things in
I
here?
want to see a lot of things here.
Come on.
Leslie Holmes is the projects manager at Salford Lads Club. He's worked here for over 2 decades, striving to preserve a club that was founded a century before he arrived.
This was opened in 1903 for working lads, and it now has lads and girls, and we do sports, music, arts, and it's very much part of the local community.
And nothing's really changed.
No, that's it. Everything you see in this building today is probably from 1903.
These types of clubs arose to solve a problem created by the industrial boom of the late 1800s.
If we think about how dense housing was around here, there's nothing for young people to do. So local companies in cities all over England funded these working lads clubs to keep them away from street gangs, alcohol and gambling.
At the time, by the age of 13, boys were done with school and were working during the day. But thanks to the club, in the evening, they had a place to go.
You could do boxing, you could do music even. So there was a whole range of different things people could do to benefit their lives. And it was an instant success.
A number of famous athletes got their start here, like boxing brothers Billy and Ted Marchant, rugby star Charlie Palsy, and Manchester United footballer Eddie Coleman, whose membership card is still kept on file. But in a weird twist of fate, it wasn't a former member who made the club iconic, but some musicians who just liked the look of the building.
All the Smiths were from Greater Manchester, but they weren't members of the club. They were just very intrigued by that mixture of working class history and Coronation Street. And Morrissey wanted a photograph outside Salford Lads Club here.
The photo was included in the 1986 The Smiths album, The Queen is Dead, and instantly gave the club international attention.
From that moment, fans started to come here.
Now the club even has a dedicated room for the Smiths, showcasing both the iconic photo and all the people it inspired.
So you can't come here without taking the picture.
I don't think anybody does. People come from all over the world and have their picture taken.
All that attention and the people who buy souvenirs help support what the club is still really all about, providing a safe place for young boys, and now girls, to build community. A pickup game was in session.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
And while I'm a little past the cutoff age of 19, I couldn't turn down the invitation to step in as the goalie.
Let me see that ball. Let me see the ball. Be nice. Oh! Oh, come on. I looked good there for a minute.
And to remember my special day, there was, of course, only one place to take the team photo. Even a bit of play can work up a pretty big appetite. So I headed to an area south of the city center, along Wilmslow Road, better known as the Curry Mile. Like a lot of nicknames, you don't want to take it too literally. This stretch of over 70 restaurants, which dates back to the 1950s, is more like half a mile. And while it was originally mostly Southeast Asian establishments, hence the curry, in recent years, many Middle Eastern businesses have moved in. It's hard to even know where to begin. So I decided to go with one of the classic cuisines of the Curry Mile, Pakistani, at Al Medina.
So what do we got?
Mushroom rice,
Okay.
chicken karai,
Chicken.
prawn karai,
Prawn.
and okra bhindi bhaji.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, come.
Now, most places probably won't invite you back into the kitchen, but if you're lucky enough to meet someone like Abdul, you can get a look at the process and even get put to work.
Dishes, as you wish, you can start making them yourself.
All right, give me a pan.
Today's dish, chicken karai, named for the wok-like pot used to cook it.
All right.
They led me through the base ingredients: green chili, ginger garlic, tomatoes, tomato curry, and then you add the chicken.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two more.
Two more.
Yeah.
Oh, down.
Yeah.
Then a generous ladle of onion curry sauce,
Add some spice.
some salt,
Yeah, that's it.
chili powder, red chili, and then give it a proper stir.
They put in the plate.
Ready to go on the plate?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Ready to for serve.
That enough?
Yeah, no, all put
The whole thing?
Yeah, all.
Oh, okay. Here, smoking.
Yeah, no.
We're done.
Yeah, done. So for serve.
How'd I do?
Yeah, you are very
Good?
good, very good, sir.
As a reward for successfully making one chicken karai, Abdul whipped up some fresh, extra cheesy garlic naan bread for me.
For me, here we go.
Right?
Extra cheesy,
Yeah, actually.
Right?
cheesy.
extra garlic,
Extra.
extra butter,
Extra.
extra weight.
Extra.
But you know what? I'm not
Yeah,
stopping.
On the Curry Mile, you must save room for dessert. So I went down the road to Serious Sweets, where they have a colorful array of different Middle Eastern pastries and treats, including my favorite, kunafe, a simple dish of dough, syrup, and even more delicious, stringy melted cheese.
I don't care.
After a meal this rich, I may have to work it off with a few laps around that Curry Mile. Everyone knows that to find a hidden gem, you've got to get off the main roads. But sometimes, you better get off the road altogether.
The canals are absolutely central to understanding Manchester as a place. They fueled the Industrial Revolution, which is the reason our city kind of stands where it is. They were used to transport goods vast distances across the country.
Matt Hayworth has lived in Manchester for 20 years, but it wasn't until the COVID-19 lockdowns that he decided to buy a boat as a hobby.
It was a bit of a rust bucket when I bought it, and yeah, just been steadily and slowly fixing it up since then.
Where do you take it?
Well, I mean, you know, there's not many directions you can go on a canal. It's either kind of forward or back on this one. So, and the canal route that we're on now is actually the oldest kind of fully man-made canal in the world. It's quite a historic route that we're travelling today.
The Bridgewater Canal was commissioned by the Duke of Bridgewater to transport coal from his mines, starting back in 1761. The canal soon became the backbone of Manchester's industrial sector.
But all these buildings here, these are the old factories.
Yeah, some of these would be the mills, would be the factories. A lot of these would have been producing goods, especially kind of cotton fabric, which, you know, really gave Manchester all of its kind of wealth back in the day to build this great city.
The water takes you right past Old Trafford, home to the Manchester United Football Club, the largest club football stadium in the UK. But it's not just enough to take in the sights. If you really want to appreciate the canal, you better know the stories.
Hey, there's someone I want you to meet.
So along our way, we picked up Dr. Mike Novell. With over 30 years experience in heritage architecture, he understands these canals better than anyone.
All right, we're good.
This is one of the foundation stories of industrialisation. The building of this canal shows how you could make money out of moving big bulky goods like coal steadily, I'm not going to say quickly, but steadily across the landscape.
But the engineering of this was remarkable.
One of the challenges was that the canal needed to cross over a river. So in the 1760s, a stone aqueduct bridge was constructed.
It's the very first time you get a man-made, human-made canal across another river navigation. So this was done first at the beginning of the 1760s.
But when that river was enlarged to create the Manchester Ship Canal, ocean-going vessels were too large for that aqueduct. So a new, innovative solution had to be found.
Well, what we're about to come on to here is the second aqueduct. So the first aqueduct is 1760s. It's all in stone. But that was replaced in the 1890s by the Barton Swing Aqueduct when the Manchester Ship Canal was built. And the Swing Aqueduct is the first of its kind in the world. So it allows the canal to function even when you've got all the big ocean-going vessels coming up and down the ship canal. Still works today.
When a large ship needs to pass through, the Barton Swing Aqueduct literally, well, swings to make way. And once the ship is passed, the aqueduct swings back, and the Bridgewater Canal flows as usual.
This is so weird. We're on a body of water, on top of a body of water.
We're floating on water, above water. That's what makes it so mind-blowing.
You know what? Now, it was mind-blowing then, it's mind-blowing now.
Yeah, well, this still works. Occasionally there are ships up and down here, so they have to open it. We're literally crossing history at this point.
As you go along, you might see a change in the water, and that's literally the legacy of the coal mines these canals were originally built to serve.
I'm noticing that the watercolor is starting to change.
Yeah, it's getting quite orange at this point, Peter, and the reason for that is that we're looking at more and more of the mine water being drained out of those 18th and 19th century
And that
mines.
continues to go.
It continues to go to this day. So there's a very sort of slow trickle of water coming out of the mine, and the iron oxide particles in the water sort of are suspended in it. You've got all this water being churned up and the mine water, and so you end up with these oxide silts, or silts full of iron oxide, which turn it orange.
In its heyday, there were around 5,000 miles of canals in Britain, but with the rise of railroads and automobiles, the industrial canal faded away. But a new purpose has been found here.
Most people never get a chance to see this.
No, they don't. What you see here is a real revival in just the canal here, the Bridgewater Canal, but the canal network as a whole across Britain.
It's become a secret highway, a green corridor acting as a gateway to all of Manchester's hidden gems.